Good afternoon from a very sunny, very pleasant, still poorly shoulder, still poorly Davina, Peterborough. I'm sorry if I look a little bit rough. I've just spent a weekend with my brother, whose drinking capacity is way better than mine. So after 2 days and a long drive back from Yarm near Stockton-upon-Tees, ouch. Right, pond covers. We think we're going to opt for no pond covers this year. Yes, I know, Astonished from Nottingham or whatever your name's going to be. We give it a lot of thought. £243 for polycarbonate covers on an unheated pond. I think last year or the year before, or the 2 years, was the only time ever I've covered a pond, and I have never heated a pond. So this year, due to financial constraints as usual, we've decided to not cover. The depth of the pond is 5'8.5", and I reckon, plus listening to various people on the comments, I think that's deep enough to winter the fish in safety. So we're going to go for that. I have been asked to do a water feature for a colleague and good friend of mine. So take a look at this. Good afternoon from miles away from Peterborough, about 10 miles. An ex-colleague of mine, close friend, has got in touch with me and he said, I've got a big garden, want a water feature. I built water features, not very big, but I built water features. And he said, can I have one that's about 12 foot across? So we had a look, and he's got quite a large garden, so we went to 20 foot across. Now this guy's an ex-builder, so he's got stacks and stacks of reconstituted, cleaned up bricks. We've also got burnt logs, telegraph poles, long telegraph poles, sleepers. Look at that, the water will drop in there, come straight through there. Short telegraph pole, a dovecote. Look at the view. And this is where we're having the water feature. This garden is massive. This video is going to be spread over a period of weeks, so this is just basically the initial video, the initial plans and ideas before he gets building it. So be patient. Right, so what we've got here underneath this is a sump. Deep sump. Now in there, underneath this concrete slab, is a 1,000 litre IBC tank. That's going to be our sump. That's heavy enough. That's his workshop. And that's his house. So the idea is we're going to build a water feature with a wall. I do beg your pardon, wrong place. The wall is going to pass across here, and this wall is going to be approximately 20 feet long with a cobbled path in between, There was going to be an archway, but there's now not going to be an archway. This is going to be an irregular border all around the outside. So this side of the wall will be all plants and paths, but this side of the wall will be all water feature. So we're going to have a 20 foot by 10 foot area to build a water feature. The electric's already in. Water is going to be filled with a hose pipe, but because we've got 1,000 litres to play with to start with, and a ready supply of rain because this is England, this is where it's going to go. From these pegs it's going to slope down. So basically we have got to create a wall with maybe 2 to 4 water features, planters with water dropping off, taps with water dropping in. Around here we're going to have cobbles, we might have like a destination stone, we might have like a little pool so you can kick your flip-flops off and dangle your feet in. We've got a lot of ideas buzzing through our head. Either side of this path, just before you get into the water feature, we're going to create 2 brick seats. This is the initial plans, so basically you can sit here or here with a cup of tea and look at the water feature. So as you can see, there's precious little that's been done up to now, but like I said, this is going to be over a period of weeks, if not months, just to see what we can recreate or create. Dogs are out keeping an eye on me, but the view is spectacular. As far as you can see, far as the eye can see. I think that's his only neighbour over there. It just goes on for miles, and as you can hear, it's very, very quiet. So there we go, first part of the water feature adventure. Stay safe. There's Davina on the bottom, looking very forlorn. Occasionally has a multitude of twitches and then sits there and rests, but does come up to feed. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. Got some good views through there. The fish right at the far end. I've just ordered another head for the Dublin duster because it's certainly worked magic, but it's starting to look a bit threadbare. We're having to use it quite often, as you can well imagine. Those people with windows, you'll totally understand. So we're doing that. The feeder has been working tremendously well, although it's only on default at 10 o'clock, feeding for about 10 seconds. The rest of the time we hand feed, and I guess before long we won't be feeding at all. So despite the fact that summer was on a Wednesday last week, looks like it's on a Monday this week. Upflow filter working excellent. The screen on the drum is starting to look brown. It's got a brown tinge to it. So let me know what you use to clean it. I've seen brick acid being mentioned, jet washing with a Karcher. I'm not certain what to use, but just let me know what you think should be used and put it in the comments. I'll get back to you.
Oh, good afternoon. Another medical update from a actually quite sunny Peterborough. See you lot. So over the last 5-6 days, the fish have started flicking, particularly red and dot, but dot tends to anyway. So we've just sat on it a bit, and then the Soragoi had a flick yesterday, which is not very like it. So we pulled a couple out. We pulled out red. We pulled out Maisie, Jack, the Levan Shui, and we pulled out Bob. Bob looked fairly white, which is quite unusual for Bob actually, so we didn't scrape that. We scraped red.
Oh, happy day. Here we are again. Fluke City. Oh well, let's get going.
Found one very active fluke, looked like a skin fluke. We scraped Jack, Shisui, and there was 2 very active flukes on there. So we're going to be treating again. So we have Salt Plus this time. So we'll see how that works. 100 grams in the packet. Conveniently, 100 grams treats 5,500 and we've got 2,800. So half a packet, roughly. Yeah, close enough. So just going to pop it in, which is almost full. So in the ubiquitous feeding cups. So we're just going to pop that in. Just see how well it see how well it dissolves, so it doesn't get all clumpy. It's not too bad. It dissolves fairly well. I'll stop going with the shins. Put that all in, and then we'll and then we'll put it in. Just make sure there's nothing on the bottom. You can get a bit more water.
What about the UV and the filter floss?
So we turn those off. Well, turn the UV off and turn the filter floss. Take the filter floss out, so to try and make sure it stays in the water as long as possible. Doesn't get inactivated by the UV. The other question was, should we put more air in? But it doesn't say specifically that we need to. So we're not going to, basically, and we'll see how it goes.
Right, pour that in.
They'll all come and watch now. Look, they're looking absolutely blameless there. Innocent, a lot of them.
If she's this handy with a bucket, she could clean my car.
Oh, and a quick update on Davina, the kohaku, who is having moments. See, it's just under that far waterfall now, so it's pretty much recovered, but had a bit of a day yesterday when it was down the bottom again, flicking. I suspect it's possibly having a few fits, but looks happy today. It's been grazing on the bottom, it's feeding, so we're just keeping an eye. So thank you very much, folks, and we'll sort of next update when there's something more to tell you. Take care, bye.
So, thank you for watching another episode of How Much? You've got to be joking. Stay safe out there, 2 jabs, possibly 3, look after your family. Goodbye.